Hi, and welcome to the Changing Perspectives podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics, including grief, parenting, relationships, mental health, and pop culture. Join us and explore a number of changing perspectives. We're your hosts, Jenni and Josh Brennan. Well, hello, Jenni.
Hi. I forget how to do this.
I kind of forget how to do this too, actually. Hey, welcome everybody to episode 94. I'm not shouting.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll see on the playback. Let us know if I'm shouting. Episode 94. Welcome back into the studio for the first time in I don't even know, 4 months, 5 months.
No, I think it might be. Was
What's
it April?
Today? April.
May, June, July,
April
August.
something.
Almost 5 months.
5 months. Our biggest hiatus, you think?
I think so.
I think so.
Probably.
But we're back. So welcome back. And once again, Jenni's not paying attention to me. She's in her phone.
I remember how to do it now. I have to be doing 5 things at the same time.
No, okay. But what are you doing now?
Well, I'm trying to
share with the class.
Save that photo of our oldest child from his football game this weekend before I forget. Because it'll get lost in the 300 photos. I'm trying to find a little star to put next to it.
It feels like in the time since our last episode and this episode, he's graduated college and married now.
I feel like both of our children have done that, which is partially the reason we have not been here for a while, right? That
yes,
we've been slightly busy. And I realize every summer, but I think it gets worse, not worse in a bad way, that our summers are more scheduled and chaotic than our school years.
They really are.
Yeah. There's
less consistency. Yeah.
And so there's a whole lot of moving pieces. And then when we try to schedule vacations, then everything else gets jumbled. And so it's been really, really busy.
But we're back because we realized that we really love doing this thing. And you had some space in your schedule opened up because you just
I finished two classes. Yeah. That took up a lot of my time. Because they were large classes. Yep. So on top of the summer schedule, I also was teaching and had a full course load. And somewhere in that also joined the gym and started working out again. Yeah. And so that became a priority. And I don't know what else was going on. But
a lot of stuff.
It just was really hard to get into the studio.
Yeah.
And so we didn't. And I also have not done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of micros, little tiny pieces, but I haven't really done any many full-fledged pieces.
But you have a lot of full-fledged pieces coming.
No.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You have a lot of writing coming.
No. When did I write?
I don't know.
You don't know anything.
No, I mean not you're going to be writing more in the future is what I'm saying.
Yes. I'm super excited for school to go back to session. I was like, what? Do I have a lot of pieces finished that are being published? But no.
I mean that you've got a lot of things planned.
I'm excited for the school year for there to be consistent schedules because that will allow for me to do some things like writing and for us to maybe even have a consistent time to record each week. And maybe there is some stuff coming down the pike that we can't really announce, but there may also be a sort of
That's what I was referencing.
Consistent radio slot time on a certain network that we're just signing some documents and stuff, but that should be coming too.
More to come on that. Yeah. We also have to shout out our listeners from the great country of Iceland now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to capitalize on that. I don't know where it came from.
Hi, Iceland.
Hello, and thank you so much for making us the #1 podcast in relationships in your entire country.
Cannot wait to get to Reykjavik, and I don't know if I'm saying that city right, but
I don't think you are.
I don't know, but I have seen a lot of different travel shows or whatever on Iceland, and I've just really been interested to get.
Oh, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say: the first person who can confirm that they live and listen to us and in Iceland, who emails us and says first, we'll send you a free Changing Perspectives T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of merchandise. Check out our merchandise, changingperspectivesonline.com. Visit the shop over there. Jenni just put up a bunch of cool new stuff for the fall and football. And I think we just got done with a sale, but I'm sure there's another sale coming. But check out the merchandise. It's always fun. While you're over there at changingperspectivesonline.com, don't forget the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for Jenni's newsletter yet, please do so. You get one a week. It's called the Wednesday Wisdom, and you have a monthly installment as well.
Well, it was a summer installment.
right.
Maybe seasonal. I think in the fall it might go back to monthly.
Well, you get all kinds of great resources and articles and podcast episodes and links to products and that kind of stuff if you sign up for the newsletter. But you at least get that weekly Wednesday Wisdom, which is a lot of fun. I enjoy reading that. Speaking of other things, Changing Perspectives is brought to you by BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp is an online counseling resource who makes professional counseling accessible, affordable, and convenient. They offer 4 ways to get licensed counseling through video sessions, phone call, live chat, and messaging. As everyone knows all too well, the past year and a half has been challenging to say the least, and the broad expertise of the BetterHelp Counselor Network could provide anyone struggling with life's challenges the help they need, anytime, anywhere. Whatever struggles you're facing, whether it's depression, grief and loss, anxiety, BetterHelp.com can provide you the counselor that's the right fit. In fact, when you head on over to BetterHelp.com/changing perspectives, you can fill out a survey so they can match you with a mental health professional that will meet your needs. Listen, you may not have access to the help you need where you are. BetterHelp allows the opportunity to access those resources from all over. Visit BetterHelp.com/changing perspectives. After signing up, you will be matched with a counselor in 24 hours or less. Again, visit BetterHelp.com/changing perspectives. Yeah. So Jenny, we decided that we would kick things off with this first episode back from our little hiatus with another relationship episode.
Yeah.
Because folks seem to enjoy those, and we wanted to give a shout out to Iceland and all those folks that are listening there with another relationship episode. And we were sort of inspired by another micro that you wrote that you can find over at changingperspectives.com. How to basically talked about find the things in your relationship. What do you mean by things?
I mean the things that sorry, I'm froggy. I mean, well, the things like the things that you as a couple like or appreciate or are unique to you as a couple.
Yeah. Like what comes to mind for us? What are the things for us?
Well, I wrote the micro that this is sort of based on after we went away. You and I went away for the first night after, almost 2 years? Right? Almost 2 years?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, because
Thanks,
of the whole
COVID.
pandemic thing.
Yeah.
But I guess probably like 20 months. But the first time we'd been away for a night without the children. We actually went away for 2 nights. And I was thinking while we were away that trip is sort of a lot of things that are about us, right? They're like our things. Like it's our favorite little hotel, sort of close to our house, with like our favorite little cocktails and our favorite little beer place and our favorite little like appetizers and our favorite little routines that probably don't mean anything to other people, and other couples might not appreciate it or enjoy it, but they're like our things. And it's those little things that kind of are the big things. And after not having that for 19, 20 months, you realize that I realized how much those things are important and really have become sort of like the bedrock of our relationship. And I think relationships, it's really easy to let go of those things.
So it's really important to find them and to capitalize on them, right? Maybe, and I love what you wrote selfishly because it's kind of about me, but it's very cool. Some of the things you said was, the things that make other people tilt their head and say, wow, that's your thing, huh? Maybe it's a special restaurant or a favorite old bench in the park. Maybe it's traveling to as many states as you can. Maybe it's traveling to as many countries as you can. Maybe it's grabbing takeout from that little pizza shop around the corner every Friday night. Or maybe it's singing all the words to that favorite song from your younger years, even if you are in the middle of a conversation at a party. And I love that. I mean, we have the benefit of being together for a long time, so we have a lot of those things.
Yeah, but I think
things that we like forgot.
I think that those can be a benefit, right? Length of time together can be a benefit, but not necessarily, because there's more time for you to let those things go and think they're not that important and not make them a priority.
And it doesn't matter what the things are you write in this micro. What matters, they're yours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so,
that's cool.
So I think it's important for couples to think about that. Like, what are the things that, and maybe they're no longer your things, right? Maybe it's been a long time, but what were the things that would make people look at you and be like, huh, you guys really like to do that, huh? You really like that restaurant, or you really like to go to that hotel, or you guys really like to like stay home on Friday night and binge Netflix or something, or you guys really like to go to, I don't know, North Carolina or wherever. What are those things? And are you making a priority making them a priority in your relationship? I'm going to guess probably not, because if you're working or you've got children or both, or you're trying to also take care of yourself, those things kind of fall by the wayside and you don't make them a priority. So it's important to think about those and then see, how can we make this a priority? Because truthfully, it was really hard for us to carve out that time to get away. There's a lot of moving parts, and it was easy. It would have been easy to like keep pushing it, keep kicking the can down the road, right? Yeah. And delay it. And I'm really glad that we didn't. And I think if we didn't do that, our relationship wouldn't be good.
It really did take, for this time, like, it was a busy summer, as you said before. And we had like, I don't know, like every other weekend had something, if not every weekend. Mm-hmm. And so we had to find some time, and it took some challenging movements and getting dog care and teenager care, and
teenager care is harder than toddler care. I wasn't expecting that. I guess as I was going through sort of the parenting stage, I thought like, okay, great. When my kids are like out of being toddlers and they're teenagers and they're almost self-sufficient, it'll be so easy to leave them for like a night or two, because the person who's staying with them really just has to take care of the pets, right? And maybe throw some food, remind the children to do things like take a shower, throw their clothes in the hamper, clean up. They're not going to forget to eat, clean up their food, stuff like that. Like, just sort of remind them. But what we realized is that they sort of need us more. So we got like a lot of phone calls from them, a lot of texts from them. One of them now has a job but isn't old enough to drive, so relies on a ride, and was late to work because we had to rely on someone else, and that someone else, things sort of fell apart. And so we realized, like, gosh, it's actually harder now to travel, because their schedules are busier and their schedules are kind of more important, right? Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal if they were 5 and 7 to like get to a birthday party 15 minutes late, but to show up to work 15 minutes late, not good. Kind of a big deal. So things are harder, but we still made it a priority to make that happen. And we had to, because I think we felt the effects, as many couples did over the past year and a half, from the pandemic and the sort of changes of not having that time alone.
Speaking of perspective, all of what we do here in Changing Perspectives is consider perspectives, like taking a step back and looking at something, talking about it. And I like the idea of taking a step back and trying to think about what our things are. It's kind of fun. So I want to do that with you now.
Okay.
Let's talk about what some of our things are. I have one that's going to come to mind right away.
Okay.
I love
pit bulls.
Well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You love Lola.
Yes, okay. Very much, but that's not what I was going to say. I love that you and I have a spot at a bar. Like when we go to a bar to sit, have a drink or have a date, we always try to get the corner. I think we've talked about this.
We talked about this, I think, in Toronto.
We did. Mm-hmm. So go back and check out the Toronto episodes. But I love that. I love that we have a corner spot, a preferred spot. So we get to face each other and have a good conversation. It makes it so much more enjoyable than sitting right next to each other.
And like staring at the TV.
Yeah, I enjoy that too, and it's fun.
Yeah, instead we get to sit in the corner and you stare at the TV.
I don't stare at the TV.
That is exactly what happened last night.
The Patriots were on last night.
You knew where I was going with that.
Come on. There's some sports things I can't peel my eyes away from, but you love football too, though. But you still had fun. We had fun. Mm-hmm. We were only there for a little bit, but I would get to people watch, which was very interesting, as it usually always is. But I love that corner spot at a bar is one of our things.
I didn't realize that was one of our things. Okay, yeah.
I mean, does it qualify? That qualifies, right?
That qualifies, yeah.
What would you say is one of our things?
Well, I listed a whole bunch of them in the micro. The end of the micro sort of switched into, or I guess second half of the micro was sort of like our things.
Our things.
Our things. Well, I think that whole weekend away was a whole lot of our things, right? Like people are like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, we didn't really do anything because that's kind of our thing. Like we went to this little beer place that has 100 beers on tap and we like try new beers and we had appetizers and watched, usually we're there during the college football championship.
The playoffs and the championship.
Playoffs and the championship, but obviously it's August, so it wasn't. But Little League World Series was on, so we sat and watched that. And went out for a nice dinner at the hotel restaurant that we really love and sat at the hotel bar, which is one of our favorite bars. And like watched movies and just hung out, worked out in the hotel gym, just didn't take care of dogs or work.
Yes.
But also like didn't go to like clubs or anything like that, right? Like it was sort of like quiet.
Yeah. And we have these, one of the things we usually do is try to find either a new restaurant or like a little tapas place that looks fun, which we've done a bunch of times when we go to this particular hotel. But we had some.
Well, there was a storm.
There was a storm coming, and so part of the city kind of shut down. So we didn't really have a lot of options. But this particular time, we didn't really want to spend a lot of our time in an Uber. Like we wanted to just hang out together. It's been a year and a half. Let's just be together.
Yeah, we didn't really want to explore. But I guess one of our things is like when you travel for work, which maybe will start up again soon.
Maybe. Supposed to be in Atlanta here a little bit. But
one of our things is that I like to travel with you, even though you're super busy, right? And as you sort of like progress in your career, you're busier and busier, which means I'm alone a lot. But that's kind of our thing, right? Like we connect for like dinner or lunch or something like that. And when we can't, we like get there a day early or stay a day late and explore the city and kind of hang out. But I like use that time to go explore the city myself or hang out if it's nice at the hotel pool or do writing or grading or just sort of like sleep and decompress, right? Like that's sort of our thing. And I think some couples that would not be fun for them. They'd be like, why are you traveling when you're not going to see each other? So what else are our things?
Can I say one?
Oh, yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to dance anymore, though, I feel like.
But we didn't let that stop us.
Oh, are you referencing Boston?
Yeah.
Yes. So I didn't know if you knew I was talking about us in the micro. Yeah.
You said, so it's in here in Jenny's micro, which you can find on Changing Perspectives Facebook page. And maybe it's dancing to Frank Sinatra whenever you hear him, even when you are walking in the city on a night out with friends. Frank did come on while you and I were just hanging out in our room, and we danced.
That's right, we did. We're dorks, yeah.
We're dorks.
Yeah.
But we learned how to foxtrot and swing, and we learned how to do the mambo and a couple other dances for our wedding almost 20 years ago. And we've always enjoyed it ever since. We don't get a chance to do it much, but we did it.
So I think this is an interesting topic to kind of bring up with your partner, right? Like, what are our things? Like, what are the things that maybe other people don't get or that other people think are cool? Some people comment. Norma Jean is in here with us.
Welcome back.
She's snoring.
Pit bull. Hi, Norma Jean. Now she's awake looking at me.
I woke her up. Sorry, I didn't know if you all could hear the snoring dog in the background. Someone wrote that like their thing is exploring state parks, national state parks. Someone wrote that their thing is like hiking new trails. I forget what other people said, but like it's an interesting concept to think about. What are your things? What are the things that make you as a couple? And also, what are the things that maybe used to make you a couple that you're not doing anymore? And it's worth kind of jotting those down and trying to like lean into some of those, but also sort of the other, right? So what were your things in the past, and do you want to kind of try to go back to any of those? What are your things now that maybe you haven't really realized are your things, and it's just kind of shining light on that and saying like, yeah, that is something really cool about us, or dorky about us, or unique about us. But then also, what are the things that maybe you'd like to be your things in the future? Like, what are kind of sort of like bucket list ideas of things you'd like to sort of do as a couple, or have as your thing as a couple?
Yeah. Maybe it's hosting a podcast together.
Perhaps. Maybe being more consistent than we have been.
My goal is to get to 100.
100 what?
Podcast episodes.
Oh.
I mean, we're not going to stop after 100. We're just saying, like, we're so close.
Wait, what episode number is this?
94.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I remember like months ago, we were like, we have to do something big for our 100th, which felt like it would be
maybe there's something maybe we'll just be getting in the studio for 100. Well, you wrote something in the micro that I wanted to talk about with regards to what you just said. And when you lose them and lose your way, as most couples do at some point, find the things again. Where would a couple, based on your professional opinion, Jenny, where would a couple start in trying to figure out how to find their things again? Like, how do you begin that? Is it like simple as like what we've referred to in the past as like staff meetings?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, the first step is, and most things is admitting you have a problem, right? So the first step is having one of you be vulnerable enough to say to the other, like, hey, I listened to this podcast episode, or I read this article. And like, what do you think our things are? Because I'm having a hard time thinking about what they are. Yeah. But here are some that I thought about before. So it probably means coming to that conversation, having done a little brainstorming on your own and thinking about what are things that used to be your thing. And maybe that means looking at old photos, or just kind of taking a trip down memory lane through your own relationship and having a conversation about that, and then saying like, how can we make some of these a priority again? How can we create and carve space in our lives for our things? Because when you don't, everything else just floods in and fills it.
And those things that are filling it and flooding in probably aren't that fun.
Well, and they're probably not your things, and they're not the things that are going to sustain your relationship.
And you end the micro with, find the things again, old ones and new ones, and hold on to them and to each other. You end that really nicely, Jenny.
Thanks.
That was sweet. So find your things, or talk about them, expose them,
and then make them a priority.
Yeah.
Right. Like not every day, but I think once we set our little date on the calendar to we're going away, that sort of grounded me and gave me like some hope that like, all right, we're going to be able to like be together, but also a little nervousness. Like, are we going to like each other after 19, 20 months? Like, are those things still going to be, our things? Are they still going to be enjoyable for us after all this time?
So what's your verdict?
I mean, yeah, it was okay. No,
it was okay.
Oh, it was so okay that we actually have decided to do that for our 20th, because our 20th is coming up. Our 20th wedding anniversary is coming up in a few months. And we were going to be traveling out of the country, but it'll be in the winter. And with COVID, I have some concerns. And after traveling for just 2 nights with teenagers, here at home, I feel like we need to be closer to sort of better manage the logistics of it. So we love this hotel and it's like a little boutique hotel chain, and their customer service is just so amazing.
Really is.
That we decided that's probably just as nice.
And when we tell them we're choosing them to celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary, I feel like they're going to pull out all the stops for us, because they've done it before. Well,
yeah, but now they're kind of bought by or they partner with a larger hotel chain. So I think you should slow your roll there, buddy. But they'll at least be nice.
How's your glass half empty of drink there?
I am expect the worst, prepare for the worst, so that if something is better, you're pleasantly surprised.
Do we want to unpack that? Because I don't think that the therapist Jenny would be very supportive of that.
She might be, depending on, well, yeah, I mean, do you really think it's healthy to like roll into that situation expecting to like have someone pull out all the stops for no reason?
Not pull out all the stops, but
that's what you said.
Well, I mean, they did before.
Yeah, but that was before a pandemic, before like their industry was sort of
Remember they
ravaged.
Gave us an iPad preloaded with a Spotify playlist.
I forgot about that.
Because we had gone and celebrated our dating anniversary. It must have been the 20th or must have been the 20th year dating anniversary.
I feel like that was probably the second to last time we were there.
Yeah. And
that's right. They gave us an iPad to use for the night.
Preloaded with Spotify playlist that from 1994, the year that we were together.
And some champagne and strawberries. Oh, that was the year they upgraded us to like the executive suite too. Yeah.
But, just to go back a second, I think it's healthy to go around with glass half full in life, right?
I'd rather be excited. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed.
I get that. But I'm trying to put positive vibes out there in the world.
Oh, my positive vibes are, I'm not being negative. I'm just saying like, we're going to have a great time because they're going to take really good care of us and be really nice, but I'm not expecting anyone to go above and beyond.
Okay. I see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the second half of, I had a blast too, by the way. And I can't wait to go back with you. The second half of today's episode, I figured we could check out this bustle.com article. And this maybe ties into how to find your things.
Okay.
Right? Maybe try new things to see if they do become something that's important to you and your partner. So this article is entitled Unusual Things All Couples Should Do Once a Year. And we're discovering this list together, Jenny, because I only really read the first couple. Whether you're trying to keep your relationship healthy and intact or keep each other healthy and intact, there are all sorts of unusual things you should do with your partner to check in and spice things up at least once a year. I haven't read this, but it was something like... You
haven't read this? Is this going to be an inappropriate article?
Well, if it takes us down an inappropriate path, I won't read that section. Because we're going to keep our rated... I don't even remember what the ratings is.
I think we're rated E for everyone. Or is that a video game?
That's a video game. I forget.
I don't know.
It's been too long. Mm-hmm. Okay. So number 1 says, do something that scares you. At least once a year, venture off together and do something scary, whether that's skydiving, prancing around on a nude beach. No thanks. Or simply trying a strange new food. When you do something that you're both scared of, you are taking your trust in each other to a whole new level.
Well, this is easy for me because lots of things scare me. We could just go into a party that might have a few people I don't know. Then I'm scared.
Yeah. Or just like, I don't know, go in and ask a bartender how to make your favorite drink. That's scary for you, I feel like.
It is scary for me, yeah. So that's easy.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think in general, there was a period of time in my life where I was like, every birthday, I want to do something that scares me. Not like big, like skydiving, but something new that I've avoided because I'm a little scared. But yeah, I guess that's sort of fun.
Did we go like samba dancing?
We went salsa dancing.
Dancing. That was fun.
Yeah.
We already talked about how much we love dancing, though. But what else have we done that's like kind of new and scary together?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I like that.
I like that idea.
That's an option.
I don't think scary, but I think part like exploring different cities is sort of like that. I don't think scary. I guess I disagree with. I guess I disagree with the scary word and something that's like maybe new, right? Because new for me is sort of uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
Something uncomfortable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get that. All right, number 2. How about go back to where you first met? That's pretty cool.
I don't think. Let's see. I don't know that the high school in the town we're from would be cool with us just strolling in and like
going to the band room,
like just walking in the band room during class and be like, "What's up?"
If it's feasible,
this is where we met.
Yeah, it says if it's feasible to road trip back to where you first met, heading there once a year can make for a really sweet tradition. Sometimes we can get so busy in the present to not remember that honeymoon stage, funny stories, etc. Once a year, make sure you were going down memory lane.
Well, so I think that having children that play football, sort of does that for us a lot.
It
because
really does.
We met during
really
the
does.
fall
Yeah.
in band, in high school band. And then a huge part of that, I mean, I guess technically we met in the summer before the fall.
Yes. Yeah.
But a huge part of that was like band camp and then playing at every home football game. So we spent all of our Friday nights where there was a home football game together at the football game in the stands. And so football has become this sort of, I don't know, like trip down memory lane, right? Like we get to,
it's special.
This Friday night is his first, our oldest is now a sophomore. So he's like officially on a high school team, whereas last year he was on a freshman team, but also there was COVID and they didn't really have a season and it was all fake and all that stuff.
So this is his first high school football
like
experience.
High school football experience where he'll actually get to like go to Friday night games. He's not varsity, but he might get to sort of dress and stand on the sidelines and it's his team. That's huge for us. Like that feels like, gosh, that's where we were at his age, actually. That was a huge part of our story. So I feel like we kind of do that anyways. And we drive through the town that we lived in, that we met in a lot.
We do.
I don't want a vacation there.
No
offense.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And well,
but if you are from somewhere else, I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we still lived in Colorado, we could come back here to Massachusetts on vacation.
Although I always say we keep on saying we should go back to the place we got engaged. And it came up over the weekend because someone was there and I was like, oh, that's where we got engaged. And we keep meaning to go there. But every time it was in New Hampshire. And every time we go to New Hampshire, we're on the other sort of side of the mountains and don't make the trek.
Well,
so
it's
I guess
funny
it's kind of
though,
like that.
Like where we met was high school, which there's a brand new high school.
So
like it's completely different now. And then the place where we got married was torn down. So that would be, those two things would be tough, but I like that idea. All right, number 3, really do it up on the holidays. It says,
what does that mean?
It can be so easy to let holidays and birthdays slip by without much celebration, and yet there is a pretty great reason to actually observe the occasions. What these milestones and dates mean is important. They represent another year together, another year of each of you is alive, another year you are the one you love, and a chance to start a fresh slate together for the coming year. I mean, there's some holidays where you and I really enjoy. Your birthday, for one, it has become really an opportunity for us to travel to someplace that's really special and all. Like your birthday,
I don't think special. I think that's just not here.
Like to sun and weather,
somewhere
and
warm
beach and
with
water.
the boy, like because that where it falls is the end of the school year, sort of before the beginning of summer sports, and we just leave.
I find myself looking more forward to your birthday than mine because we go away. It's great. So we do that pretty well, I think.
Well, I think we also we celebrate our anniversaries, right?
We really do.
Like we celebrate. I'm so sorry that Norma Jean is snoring.
It's okay. It's cute. Hi, Norma Jean.
NJB, stop. It's like when I sleep with you and you're snoring and I'm like, wake up, you're snoring. We celebrate our dating anniversary. We celebrate our wedding anniversary. I think that's important to do.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that.
Okay. Number 4, check each other for signs of health issues.
Well, okay. This went down a weird path.
Yeah, right?
No offense to the author.
I know. Who else on this planet is going to see your butt besides your partner, it says.
Okay. Maybe I would just skip this one.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't know.
I guess,
supporting each other.
You and
acknowledging that each other's health is important.
Yeah.
I guess that's important.
Yeah. I feel like you just had me look at something on you.
I have a mole on my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but I can't see. So every once in a while, they're like, you should have someone just make sure that doesn't change.
So this one is kind of funny.
Funnier than check each other for ticks?
No, like funny kind of. I don't know if you and I would be into this.
Okay. Well, it's not our thing, but maybe it's someone else's thing.
Yeah. It says number 5, feed each other food.
No.
No.
I don't like that.
It says
just give me the fork.
Couples pretty much have to feed each other food. Oh, sorry. As you've likely noticed in romantic comedies, couples pretty much have to feed each other food to show that they're all sexy and in love. So why not give it a try in real life? Food is nurturing, and feeding a partner can be a bonding experience. Sure, go for it. I don't think you and I would be.
Maybe that's your thing. Listen, there's no judgment in what other people's things are.
Don't want to yuck anybody's yum, right?
I hate when you say that. I know,
that's why I said it.
I'm sure there are people out there listening and being like, ugh, that's their thing. That's so lame.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's not lame for them, and that's not go for it. But don't touch my food.
Agreed.
I got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Joey doesn't share food.
Joey doesn't share food.
Well, you can take fries off my plate.
Food. We share food all the time.
Don't try to put them in my mouth.
But don't feed me.
Right.
Yeah. Feed me, Seymour. All right, number 6. Pretend to be perfect strangers. You and I have done this before.
Well, we've kind of done this.
We try to pick each other up.
Not really. We sort of like are meta about it and talking about how we would do that.
Yeah.
Like what would life look like if we were single?
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
But so we were doing this at the hotel the other night. And Josh is pretty confident that he could totally pick me up.
I totally could pick you up.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
Anyways, he left and went to the restroom, and he came back, and I was deeply engaged in a conversation with 2 old men because I love little old men. And we were talking like politics and stuff. And he was like, Jenny.
Like we were in the middle of trying to pick each other up. Why are you talking to other people? No, I ended up enjoying talking to those guys. So it was fun. It says here, if the passion is lagging in your relationship, it might be fun to go out for a day and act like strangers meeting for the first time.
So Claire and Phil did that in Modern Family.
Yeah.
And I think I want to binge that show again. I think that's a nice sort of wonderful example of a couple that makes their relationship a priority. And so that was their thing, is that they would do that, I think, every Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But they would like go all in, and they would like
well,
role
it says
play.
you could do that, like come up with a backstory, change your name. And
I'm
all
not
that
an actor.
No. Am I keeping you awake, Jenny?
I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Yeah.
We're not videotaping this, or this is not live, but if we were, you would have seen Jenny yawn really
Sorry. I apologize.
This next one, number 7, says, do each other's chores. If you two are set in your ways when it comes to chores, take a weekend and trade places. If you normally walk the dog, let your partner do it. Or if they're the cook in the relationship, see how it feels when you make dinner, etc. This exercise will give each of them an opportunity to better understand and appreciate what their partner does for their relationship and their life together. What do you think about that one, Jenny?
I don't want to take out the trash.
Also, don't touch my snowblower.
Yeah.
Please.
So again, not our thing, but maybe it's other people's things. I could see how that would be a good thing. It's sounding like you and I have control issues over our stuff. Like, don't touch our food. Don't touch the snowblower. I kind of don't want you to load the dishwasher. Like,
I'm not that good at that. I'm getting better, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. Not our thing, but could be, right? The sort of limitless options here.
But we don't have those. Like, for the most part, we share chores.
Not really. I mean, there are things that you do that I don't do, and things I do that you don't do.
Yeah, but like I'm not one of those husbands that's going to be like, I don't ever do the laundry. That's my wife's job.
Right.
Yeah, we don't do that.
But I think a sort of spin on that is to like maybe not even trade chores, but show each other that you love each other by maybe helping out.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, that's a love language.
Right. That is a love language. Acts of service. Yeah.
For more on love languages, check out our episode on love language.
We should do another episode on it.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, stay in a nearby hotel.
We should see if the quarantine has changed our love languages.
You just walked right over that one.
Sorry. What was it?
Right. It was perfect. Just boop, boop, boop.
What was it?
Stay in a nearby hotel.
Boop, boop, boop. Isn't that the Jeopardy time's up thing?
Yeah.
Stay in a nearby hotel. That is our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's certainly nothing weird about taking vacation. It might feel strange to rent a place for the night in your own hometown, and yet that's exactly what you should do at least once a year, says this article. Obviously.
I mean, we're there in 30 minutes.
It literally says book a boutique hotel nearby and take a bubble bath, get room service, and relax.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do room service, and they didn't have bathtub, but we relaxed. It was really it didn't mean we had to like get to the airport and go through security and get on wait 2 hours and then get on a plane and then get transportation to our hotel. We just got in our car. Once we were ready, there was no like set time, and we just drove 30 minutes into the city and parked our car.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. So
obviously we support that one 100%.
Because that's our thing.
Yeah. All right, number 9, go on a fun tour of your own city.
Which is one of the things that we're talking about doing for our anniversary while we're there, because we're going to stay longer. So we said, like, maybe we could actually, like, explore it like we do when we're traveling for work, and actually, like, explore the city.
And the article recommends a ghost tour.
Nope,
so you kind of learn the history at the same time, get a little spooked. It's a great way to walk hand in hand with your significant other.
No. And then not sleep that whole night. I'm out.
But I like that. I mean, you and I like to learn, and because we're dorks, but...
Yeah.
Number 10, spend a night people watching.
That's all of our
We
nights
never
out.
stop people watching. You can learn a lot about your significant other by people watching together. Who do they think looks interesting? What kind of stories you can come up with together? Get out of your own comfort zone and go to a place where you'll meet people that you have never seen before.
So this is making me realize that really this can be extrapolated to families, right? Because families have their things too, right? Our family's thing is Disney. Well, one of our family's things is Disney. And also our family's thing is MCU, so Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and
we have
TV shows, all of that.
Episodes of the Changing Perspectives podcast
right.
dedicated to
and
the Marvel
Star Wars.
Cinematic
But
Universe.
also when we went school shopping with our youngest yesterday, we stopped and got lunch, and I realized that he enjoys people watching like we do, because at one point he leaned over, he was like, "Mom, so what do you think that guy's story is?" And him and I were more into it than you were.
I feel like I was doing something at the same time.
You were watching baseball.
Okay.
You were staring
probably.
at the baseball.
The Red
game
Sox were on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's your thing.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah. All right. This is number 11. Put yourselves in a stressful situation. If life has been super easy and kind of boring lately, it might be a good idea to create a little stress in your lives. This article suggests heading out into the world without your phones and very little cash. When you leave yourselves no other option but to lean on one another during self-imposed stressful situations, you build a foundation of a long-lasting, incredibly passionate, rock-solid relationship. Or
you get in a huge fight because you don't have money and can't eat.
Yeah, so you're not a fan of this one?
This one scares me.
Stressful situations.
Again, it's sort of like, I forget what number it was, but it's sort of like that notion of like, stray a little outside your comfort zone, right? Like stretch a little bit, not scare yourself, not be unsafe, but maybe do something that's a little different. Because that's the author is correct that can help promote bonding, but can also create a whole lot of arguments, right?
Yeah, I feel like I can look back on a couple different stressful situations in our life, and I feel like because we're so strong, we have definitely come out of them successfully and worked really well together. But I wouldn't say I'd like to repeat those.
Right, because I think it's sort of a risk.
Yeah.
Right, like the four of us went to Six Flags New England recently, which was a scary event because I realized how scared I am of like thrill rides. And there were some harrowing moments for us as a family. Yeah. Where we were arguing. And it was also like 97 degrees and 100% humidity. And there was not a cloud in the sky. And it was crowded. And the food places were understaffed. It was a perfect storm. Yeah. We did learn a lot of things, but there were some uncomfortable times then.
But we got through it. And
we got through it and we learned.
We're able to say that day was fun.
But it's a risk, right? Like you might not have.
Right.
We might have had a huge fight. Well, we did. Not really.
Well, you and I didn't.
Right. But anyways, still kind of risky. So those ones make me feel a little uncomfortable. Like I think of the fear ladder technique. So we'll talk about CBT for a minute, cognitive behavioral therapy. We have a whole episode 2 on that actually. Yeah. When you are, especially talking about like social anxiety or things that you're scared of, rather than going from like the bottom of the rung of a ladder to like the super top of the ladder right away, you kind of can take it one rung at a time. So I'm talking about like take one rung up, like just one or two steps up on that ladder. So you're just a little bit above the ground doing something a little bit scary, but you're not like at the top of the ladder on the roof where if you fall, you break your legs.
Exactly. I agree that makes a lot of sense. And again, I think that on the example you gave for our family's stressful situation, you and I think, worked really well that day and handled things pretty good together. So our relationship strength shone through on that day.
I guess.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 left.
Okay.
I'm only going to read one.
Because the other one is not appropriate?
The other one is not rated PG,
okay.
like our show.
Okay.
So, bustle.com, everybody. There is, I want you to take if you're interested, take a look at all of these 13 unusual things couples should do once a year, and one of them is
I want to
for
see
a different show. I'll let you read it in a minute.
No, I want to see right now while you're talking.
No.
Okay.
I have to read off of this. All right. The last one. Do a tech detox. Which I like. If you and your significant other sit side by side, totally ignoring each other as you scroll through your phones, then it may be time for a tech detox. Whether you're disconnecting for a night, day, week, etc., do one detox at the same time. If you take this detox at the same time, you will connect on a new level that you may not have in such a long time.
Or even build it into your routine a few times a week, right? Like Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 8, your phones go in a basket. And the TVs are off, and you have to kind of
I agree.
Connect, or you sit and you read books, right? But it's not tech. Right. It's something different like that. But again, that doesn't happen unless you plan it.
I have 2 things to say on this real quick. The first thing is, I learned from experience that sometimes maybe your partner won't like you just taking their phone out of their hand. Because I do that to you, and that's not cool, and I try not to do that anymore. When I just want, and instead of using my words and being like, hey, can we talk for a second without the phones, I just grab your phone and put it down. That's not okay. Right. So I don't do that. The other thing I want to say is I feel like you and I do a nice job at restaurants when we're out on a date.
I thought you were going to say wrestling. I don't know where. I was like, where's this going?
I would definitely kick your butt.
Actually, I beat our youngest in arm wrestle yesterday.
You're pretty strong, actually.
Yeah, he was very surprised.
Really?
Yeah, but then he was like, well, I bet you can't move me.
No, he's a lineman.
He's just like a solid wall. I tried really hard.
That's like when that guy ran into him when he was playing first.
That's exactly what I thought of.
Mm-hmm. So, no, I feel like it's really important to me and to us when we're out at dinner, at a bar, whatever, that we aren't on our phones, that we are connecting and talking. For me, it's not enjoyable to just be there. I make this reference because I used to be a preschool teacher, parallel playing.
Well, you say that, but then last night when we were waiting for our youngest to get out of work, you were watching the Patriots. And clearly when we were at lunch yesterday with our youngest, you were watching the Red Sox.
Yeah, but I was trying to watch with you and make comments.
But it was behind us, so.
What? The Red
TV.
Sox? Mm-hmm. Oh. But anyway, maybe I failed the last 2 times. But it's important to me. I'm just
pointing out, I think you say that you like to do that, but you don't actually do it.
Ever?
Well, we went out for dinner. We went out for
statement.
We went out for dinner the other night, and you spent the first 5 minutes taking a picture of me and posting it on social media, which is very sweet.
That's not what we're talking about.
But it's still you being on your phone.
No, but I was interacting with you with our phones. It's one thing.
Not really. I then had to sit there and be like, Yeah,
you had to approve the picture.
Well, yeah.
Jenny, that's not the same thing.
Okay. All right.
Do you disagree?
No. Do you hear what I'm asking you, though?
Yes,
okay.
I hear what you're asking me, but that's not the same thing.
What am I asking you?
You're asking me to recognize that I'm not 100% awesome at it.
Well, no, I'm asking you to be more present.
Okay.
On dates.
Okay. But, yes, I hear that. I hear that. But what I'm saying is that those 2 things are different. If I'm interacting with you with our phones, if we're both looking at something, a funny tweet or whatever, that's one thing. I think that's okay because we're interacting and we're having fun together. But what I don't like is when couples are looking at the phone and they're not talking to each other.
I think we do that more than you think we do.
Well, let's try
we're gonna collect data.
Yes,
sometimes this is what I say to my patients is all right, for the next week I want you to sort of collect data. You don't have to write it down, but just sort of pay attention.
Yes, we will do that.
But we don't have plans to go out, so we won't have many data collection opportunities.
Well, now I should make plans, I guess.
Good luck fitting it in.
And once again, we're entering into a competition that I will win because I feel like we don't do that as much as you think we do.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll have to circle back around to this. Before we close out, can I see what the last one was? I won't say it.
On the air right now?
I'm not going to say it, but I just want to see.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I like this one, and that's all I'll say.
Ew.
It's not. Well, not you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean, I could have probably pared it down and said a filtered version of it, but now that we've said it,
it's not bad advice.
Okay. It's not bad advice.
I was questioning whether it was going to be bad advice based on some of the other ones. No offense to the author. Not that any of this was bad advice, except I'm not advising you to leave your house and leave your money and your cell phone at home.
I know. That's a little
I think
scary.
that is bad advice.
You could combine that with the doing something scary thing.
That is really scary. Go out and see if you get killed.
Yeah.
See if you get stranded. It'll bring you closer. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay. All right.
Anything else for our listening audience today?
No, I think to sort of wrap that all up, you did a nice job pulling that article.
Thank you.
In and tying it to things. So basically, if you don't know what your things are or your thing is in your relationship, maybe spend some time and talk about it.
Yeah.
And see if there were things that used to be your things that you've lost that maybe you want to get back, or things that are your things that you're not making a priority right now, or things that maybe you want to have be your things that are new, like maybe some stuff from this list or our list, or just, random stuff that you're thinking of. But lean into that and have a conversation about it with your partner.
Jenny, welcome back to podcasting.
It's kind of nice to be back
nice.
here.
Yeah.
And our other dog, Everett, behaved really. This was the best he's ever behaved during podcast.
He's in here, too.
He's sleeping and not snoring. Lovely.
Nomagene's the one that needs a CPAP, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for listening. For today's show notes links, you can check out bustle.com and visit that article, 13 Unusual Things Couples Should Do Once a Year. And for Jenny's micro blog posts, you could check out Changing Perspectives on Facebook. Hey, iTunes reviews will be featured over the air. So rate us and review us on iTunes, and we'll read your review right over the air. All new reviews will be read. Please follow us on Facebook, everybody, at Changing Perspectives Podcast, and on Instagram at Changing Perspectives Blog. You can send us an email to info@changingperspectivesonline.com. Don't forget, if you're an Iceland listener, if the first one that emails us and says, "Hi, I'm from Iceland and love your show," we'll send you...
And can prove that you're actually
and prove that you're from Iceland. We will send you a Changing Perspectives t-shirt for free. You can also visit changingperspectivesonline.com, and while you're there, don't forget to visit the shop to check out all that Changing Perspectives merchandise. Go ahead and subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode, and we will see you next time. Say bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
The Changing Perspectives podcast is produced, recorded, and edited by Dizzy Studios. Copyright 2021. Please visit Dizzy Studios on Facebook, facebook.com/Dizzy Studios.